Hello everybody and thank you for joining me on this video. Today's video is recapping the Twins versus the Cleveland Indians, game 3 of 4 in their 2020 series or 2020 season recap. It is August 1st, 2020. Welcome to August. For everybody's sake, let's hope August is better than July was. Twins end up winning 3-0. Kenta Maeda pitched a gem. The offense came up big. The Bomba squad showed up. We'll get into that here shortly. Wanted to throw this out there, though, to show you guys how good the Twins have been. Nick Nelson on Twitter, he's a writer for Twins Daily. His Twitter handle is at Nick Nelson MN, so go follow him. He's a fantastic follow. On Twitter, posted the fact that Berrios gave up five earned runs on opening day in 4 innings, and since then the Twins starters have allowed 7 earned runs in 45 innings, which is an ERA of 1.4. So that shows you how absolutely fantastic they've been. I don't remember a game other than opening day and maybe one other where they've given up more than 2 runs the starters have. So they weren't quality starts because a lot of them were only 5 innings, but good enough to get the win nonetheless. So Twins have been outstanding. We'll get into that here shortly. Let's start with the offense. Today's word of the day is Sano, as in it was Sanoing at Target Field today. If you watched my video 2 or 3 days ago before the series started, I predicted the 2 players that would have a big series would be Miguel Sano and Luis Arias. I was 50% right. Miguel Sano got off the schneid in a big way, hit a 3rd inning home run to center field that was 427 feet, hit another home run in the 5th inning to left field, which was 365 feet. They were both laser beams. The one especially in the 5th inning, it was more of a line drive home run, didn't have a ton of arc on it. The one in the 3rd inning, his first of the season, was kind of an arc, had a little bit of arch to it. Ended up actually what looked to be the Twins bullpen. So he was 2 for 3 with those 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and he raised his average from .58 where it was yesterday to 150. So that shows you, in a good season with not a whole lot of it, or in a short season with not a whole lot of at bats, that's what one good game can do. Raise your average 100 points. Cruz was also 1 for 3 today with a hit. He did get hit by a pitch. Got hit, I want to say it was right on the top of the elbow pad. He appeared to be fine. They didn't come out and check on him or anything. He seemed fine. More of a question of wondering where he got hit, but replay showed it was on the arm. Eddie Rosario also hit a home run today, and if you watched my video a couple days ago, Rosario went deep. I believe it was against the Cardinals. He and Daniel Ponce de Leon. I mentioned in that video he's a streaky hitter. That's the kind of at bat that could get him going. He was 1 for 3 with a home run, an RBI, and more importantly, another walk. So he's already got a handful of walks this year. So he really is showing good patience at the plate. He's showing good discipline. He's laying off of pitches that he, in years past, would have either swung at or struck out on or grounded out or flied out or, produced an out in some way. He's laying off those pitches, and he's walking, which is helping his on-base percentage, which is helping the guys behind him. So it has a ripple effect. Marwin Gonzalez was also 2 for 3. So thumbs up to Sano, thumbs up to Eddie Rosario. On the downside, not everybody had a great game. Twins only had, I believe, 6 hits, and Kepler, Polanco, Garver, and surprisingly Luis Arias combined to go 0 for 13 and 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Garver was hit by a pitch in the game, but he's struggling. You've seen Alex Avila. He hit a home run the other night. He's getting some hits. Garver just seems to be struggling. I don't know if he's pressing. I don't know if it's dealing too much with the pitching staff, the shortened season, whatever the case is. But Garver's struggling. He'll get there. He'll get it turned around, but it's tough. Let's switch over to pitching. Kenta Maeda was, let's just say, brilliant in this game. 6 innings, 1 hit, and I'm not even sure it was a hit. Replay showed he was probably out, but the umpires called him safe. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Got the win. Improved to 2-0 on the season. The 1.64 ERA this year, had 83 pitches, 52 for strikes. Great strike to pitch ratio. He was throwing, his off-speed pitches, his fastball, his changeup, his slider. He was doing whatever he wanted to do today to get the Cleveland Indians out. It wasn't as dominating as Shane Bieber the other night against the Twins, who was just using pretty much just brute strength and power to just blow the ball by the Twins. But I will say this, it was every bit as impressive to shut down the Indians lineup. Now the Indians obviously don't have the depth the Twins do, but they do have power. You've got Francisco Lindor, you've got Jose Ramirez, you've got Franmil Reyes, you've got Carlos Santana, so they have bats in that lineup. And Maeda went out there, and it's especially impressive given that it's only his second start with his new team, and not just that, but in a new league. He's facing a lot of these hitters for the first time, and he mowed them down. He actually ended up striking out the side in the 3rd inning. It was really, really impressive to watch. After Maeda left the game, Trevor May came in. He pitched an inning, gave up a hit, got a strikeout. Cody Stashak got the 8th inning. He, surprisingly to absolutely nobody, struck out 2 batters. The guy still hasn't walked a batter this year. He's got like 31 career strikeouts and 1 walk. It's a really unbelievable number. Taylor Rogers, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, including Francisco Lindor, 13 pitches, 10 of those were strikes. He's had 3 saves this year. He's thrown a grand total of 29 pitches in 3 saves. That is what you call efficiency. That's an average of just over 9 per, which basically is the equivalent of striking out the side every time he's up. And he has 4 strikeouts in those 3 innings of closing the game and saving the game for the Twins. Let's flip over to the Indians. I don't normally do this, but I want to give them a shout out. They actually played pretty well. Carlos Carrasco, everybody kind of knows his story coming back from leukemia. He's especially this with everything going on, it's really courageous that he's even out there pitching. And he pitched his tail off. I thought he pitched pretty well. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He wasn't as dominating as Maeda was in terms of being able to do whatever he needed to do to get out. But, other than Sano and Eddie Rosario, he didn't give up an RBI to anybody. So he pitched very, very well. And the 2 hits were Francisco Lindor on an infield hit and Brad Zimmer for Cleveland. A couple of notes here I wanted to make is the Twins have a plus 20 run differential, which if you're not familiar with that, that means the Twins have outscored their opponents by 20 more runs than they've given up. So if the Twins, let's say, have scored 35 runs and their run differential is plus 20, that means they've only given up 15 runs. And that is the best in the bigs. The second best team is the San Diego Padres at plus 19, who also happen to be the only other team in the major leagues with 6 wins. Now you look at it statistically or percentage-wise, I guess. Technically, the Yankees have a better percentage. They're 5-1, but they've also had a couple of postponements. They've only played 6 games. The Twins have played 8. So Twins have a 2.5 or 3 game lead on Cleveland, I believe, right now. I did some checking. The Twins team ERA, and this includes the 5 home runs that were given up in the second game of the year by Smeltzer and Littell, And the dominating performances I mentioned earlier, 45 innings, 7 earned runs, an ERA of 1.4 since opening day. Twins team ERA is 3.34, so very, very, very good team ERA. The only guys with an ERA over 3.6 are Berrios at 7, Zach Littell at 12, and Devin Smeltzer at 22.5. So those numbers might seem really high, but keep in mind when you're a reliever and you only pitch, 1 or 2 innings and you give up a home run, that's going to inflate your numbers, and it takes, 5, 10, 12, 15 games to get it down to where it needs to be. So Twins staff as a whole, I wanted to point these numbers out. 62 innings after tonight's game, 62 strikeouts, 51 hits, 23 walks, just given up 10 home runs. So they've hit 15, they've given up 10. That's a +5 in the home run ratio. That's what you want. 23 walks to 62 strikeouts. You can figure out the walk to strikeout to walk ratio. It's nearly 3-1, which is fantastic. The Twins aren't giving free passes. They're playing error-free baseball in the field, and they're pitching really, really well. So 3-0 Twins win over the Indians. Wanted to continue what I've been doing the last few nights, which is showing you guys a little bit of my memorabilia collection with each night. So some of the people that know me know that one of my favorite Twins things to collect is vintage Twin stuff. I love anything from the Twins pre like 1982-ish, roughly 80, sometimes even 1980. This one goes actually back to 1961. So back in 1961 was obviously the first year the Twins were the Twins after moving from Washington in 1960, where they were the Senators. And back then, there was a company called Peter's Meats. And basically what that was they created hot dogs. And, today when you have hot dogs, you either have them in the packaging or you have the, like, Oscar Mayer style that's kind of got the wrap all the way around it and then the big Oscar Mayer logo and all the information on it. Well, this was kind of the same thing, and what Peter's Meats did was they put out a series of 26 labels featuring different Twins players, and it's a really, 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 really rare set to get. These cost about $15 to $20, even in bad condition. They're not super common at all. They're really fun to collect, and a couple of the guys are still alive, and I'm actually going to send them out to their houses to get signed and have them send it back to me. But here's kind of what they look like. So this one is Dan Dobek. He was a Twins player back in 1961. He was actually on the original Twins team. And you can kind of see here, this one obviously had a hole punched in it, so that obviously wasn't, original to it, but you can kind of see the design, and you can imagine kind of on this side and on this side it would wrap around, and then this would be facing down on the plastic packaging or up on the plastic packaging, either way. And people could collect all 26, and you can see there, this is number 24 out of 26. And this one is Jose Valdivieso, Valdi, as his teammates called him. He's still alive. He lives out in New York. He does charge a fee, but I'm gonna get this signed. I think it's really, really neat just to be able to have stuff. The thing about me is, in addition to being a vintage Twins fan, I'm also a history major. I'm a history buff. I love history. I have a degree in history and political science. And so old things that are historical and cool and also baseball related, when those two things come together, when that world of vintage comes together, I just feel like I have to save it. So for me, having stuff that's 60 years old that takes me back to, that time and those players, and I can still write those guys and ask them what it was like to play with Harmon Killebrew and Bob Allison and Jim Cott and guys like that. For me, that's just immensely, immensely cool. A couple other things I do want to show. I do have a ticket stub here from the Twins game September 14th, 1962, and if you're familiar with it, you'll see that autograph right there. That is the ticket stub from the first hit that Tony Oliva ever got in Major League Baseball. It happened on that day. It was his second or third day in the majors. He pinch hit in his first at bat, and I think he grounded out. They were playing the Detroit Tigers when he made his Major League debut, and I actually got Tony to sign this last year at Twins Fest. So that's pretty neat. You don't find a lot of vintage tickets like that, especially when it's its first hit. I'm probably going to send that to PSA to get that encapsulated. I've got about 40 tickets that I want to send to them. So I'm going to do a bulk mailing. And then on the other side, because I'm such a big Tony Oliva fan, in 1973, the American League implemented the DH, and Tony Oliva became the first player on April 6th in Oakland at the Coliseum back when it was the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. He became the first player in baseball history to hit a home run as a DH in a regular season game. And there's the ticket stub for that. So that's pretty neat. I'm gonna get that slabbed by PSA as well, or Beckett or somebody, because you can make a notation in the slabbing. They'll highlight that career moment. So that's pretty cool. Twins win tonight, 3-0. Miguel Sano, 2 for 3, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 2 of everything. And Eddie Rosario also went yard again. Kenta Maeda, fantastic 6 innings, 5 Ks, 1 hit, gave up 1 walk, no earned runs, lowered his ERA to 1.64. So Twins bullpen held on. Cody Stashak, Trevor May, and Taylor Rogers combined for 5 strikeouts and 3 innings out of the bullpen, kept the game at bay, and the Twins held the Indians to just 2 runs. They win again. They stay in first place. They bring their magic number total down even closer, and more importantly, they have a chance to win 3 out of 4 tomorrow with a win versus Cleveland. Should be a good game. 1:10 start tomorrow. 1:10 start tomorrow. Didn't read who the starters are for tomorrow, so please forgive me for that. But want to say a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody over at Twins Daily, Sestos, Nashwalk, Arena Banana, Brant, my buddy Brandon Warren, Ted Schwerlizer, everybody on Twitter who shared these videos. I think it's really, really neat that you guys are taking the time to watch my videos. I really, really appreciate it. I just do this because it's fun. I know, I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of viewers or a whole lot of subscribers. I do think it's fun to just kind of record videos and see what other people think about them. So with that being said, thank you guys very much. Let's go Twins. And do not forget to order your 2020 World Series tickets for the Minnesota Twins, because this year it's happening. The Twins are going to win the World Series. You heard it here first. I am calling it right now. The Minnesota Twins will win the 2020 World Series. Have a good night. Go Twins.